All right, Anthony on Air podcast back for another episode. Thank you for joining us. We got an update on Brian Laundrie. Of course, his remains just identified. There is some new news there on funeral, autopsy results, and of course, the notebook. The most important thing that we discovered when they discovered him. Update on the notebook, hugely important. So we'll talk about Brian Laundrie. Also, there's a Gabby Petito water bottle that was found. I'll tell you why that's an important story. Alec Baldwin and Don Jr. A judge is going to release an Epstein transcript. Super important. Dave Chappelle in the news again. I was still right. Ron DeSantis in the news. Cowboys for Trump. The Dubai Eye. And I might have forgotten something, so we'll sneak it in if we need to.
Yeah, that's what she said. But yeah, bear with us today.
Today, we're barely getting this one off the ground.
This is gonna be a rough one. This is like,
yeah,
we're running on like 2 out of 4 engines here.
Yeah, the hamster's falling off the wheel, and
the hamster's on life support.
We're running on the residual spin. That's basically exactly. So let's start with the Brian Laundrie update here, Frankie C. Autopsy doesn't really reveal much.
They said inconclusive, right?
Inconclusive. It's going to go over to
anthropologist.
Yes, it's going to make its way over, so they'll see what they can figure out there. But I mean, my guess in all of this is basically that there wasn't really much left. That's what I'm gathering.
I mean, to be honest, they couldn't identify him just by looking at him. And DNA was iffy, I guess, so they had to do dental records. So I don't know if that's how it works. If you can't do DNA, right? Or how could they not do that?
I think they moved the dental quickly because it's fast.
The dental's quicker. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a fast result. But yeah, I mean, and again, nobody's really talking about it too much, which just kind of leads me to believe that there just really wasn't a ton of physical person left.
Right.
In this, which again definitely indicates that he was eaten by something.
Got to be animals because 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Animals.
Yeah, totally. And yes, it's going to go through an anthropologist. They'll be able to do a little bit more. The family announced that he will ultimately be cremated, and that he is not going. There are no immediate plans for a funeral, although they may decide to have a private ceremony later. That's according to the family lawyer, Stephen Bertolino. What do you think about that?
It's a little suspect. If he's dead now, so there's no, court case or anything like that. But if they maintain his innocence, why not have a funeral?
I think it's the first respectful thing they've done, because I think it's like, why honor somebody who clearly doesn't deserve any sort of honor
in everybody else's eyes, but in the parents are making that decision.
Even still, I actually, this was my feeling on this is that, I feel like back in the day, people used to have shame. They used to be embarrassed.
Oh, absolutely. No, this is definitely the right call.
Yeah.
But it's like, if the parents thought he was completely 100% innocent.
I don't even know if they think that. Nobody's really spoken to them. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why if they thought that, they may have had some kind of ceremony or something.
Yeah.
But the fact, maybe, I mean, of course, it's all speculation, but maybe they know something more and they're like, you know what? The outcry is obviously it's Gabby's side, so let's not do a big ceremony or anything.
Plus, I also think that, it's a smart decision by the parents, because I think if there was some sort of a ceremony, it would be just lambasted by people protesting and
justice for
Gabby and
makes sense.
Which is not unjustified. I'm not saying that. I'm just, I'm saying
it's totally right move.
Yeah, I think it's the right move for them. We talked about this last time too, the fact that there was a source that said that the notebook that was found near Brian Laundrie's remains may be salvageable. Now, the Northport Police Department is saying that. So basically confirming what we had said previously on this podcast, of that notebook was good to go, or they think they could use it. That was confirmed by the Northport Police Department information officer Josh Taylor. By the way, that was the guy that I was making fun of for trying to up his
Right.
TikTok. That was Josh Taylor.
Wow.
And he says that the notebook appears to be salvageable, and that's really a question for the FBI, though. But the fact that he's saying it is a good sign.
Yeah, and who knows what's in there, but hopefully it's something that leads to more answers about Gabby.
I was reading this piece about the FBI, and did you know they have like a whole department that is dedicated to salvaging water damaged evidence?
Really?
Like this is their whole expertise is like drawing this stuff out and making sure it doesn't lose any of its, any of its information and opening it up. There's like a whole department dedicated to just that.
That's incredible. I mean, because if movies have taught me anything, when something is written in ink and it's like the water, gets rid of it, but there's still residual there, so they could use chemicals to reactivate the ink that was there. So it's like there's a lot of stuff like that. We have no idea.
No.
But all the chemicals that are involved in this stuff, they know what they're doing. So yeah, it's easier for them, obviously, but it's amazing that they could salvage this stuff.
This is just one man's opinion, but I'm very hopeful for this notebook. I feel like it's going to have a bunch of information in it. I just don't think any human being, no matter how cold, solace, or serial killer like they are, I feel like they need to get thoughts out. And if the notebook isn't that only place, then the notebook is that only place.
Yeah, because even if you're the type of person that carries and writes in a notebook, I mean, that's the type of thing that would probably go in there.
100%.
If you're that kind of person that writes down their thoughts and everything, that's
100%.
What other thing could go in there if not that?
They don't. What's funny? They don't have her phone, and they don't have his phone. And we know now that he went out and bought a phone in September.
We don't know if they have his phone. It could have been in one of the bags.
I don't think they have it. I feel like we talked about this. We talked about the fact that he bought a phone in September.
Right.
But I feel like I might have forgotten about it.
But also, I mean, they don't have a lot of him left.
Right.
So the phone could be God knows where.
That's true. And there has been no comment or any sort of information on if there was a weapon near him, which again, I feel like that would be a part of it.
I doubt there would be, though, a weapon right near him.
I also do feel like too, if he did take his own life, if you're shooting yourself, I feel like there's going to be you're going to be able to get that information, ascertain that information from the skull. If it's
in one, it's probably not all
right.
Who the hell knows what kind of condition? If they just have a jaw, maybe
right.
They could have almost nothing left.
But you know what? Finding out what happened to him is like only 10% of it. Really, 90% of it is you just want to know what you want that closure for her.
Oh, of course.
Doesn't even matter with him.
Absolutely. That's why we could assume what happens to her and move on with our lives, but we want to get to the bottom of what happened to her.
Yeah, 100%. Gabby Petito's water bottle. This is the first story that we're going to get to in a series of stories on this episode where I literally said to myself, that can't be right.
Really?
And then had to look it up and confirm how crazy it was. Like this story, the Don Jr. Alec Baldwin thing, the Ron DeSantis thing, there was a whole bunch of stories where I was like, this is not right. Like when you come across things on Twitter and they're trending or whatever, and you're just like, no, this isn't. I must be getting the wrong parts of this. Let me look it up. Let me get to the information source. And in every instance, I got to the information, and I was like, I cannot believe this is real. I can't believe this is a real thing.
Well, we'll get to them.
It's absurd. All right, Gabby Petito.
Buckle up, folks.
Gabby Petito water bottle in a sec. Jumpstart Coffee Company right now. You can save 15% off of what I say is the absolute best coffee in the entire planet. Frankie's holding up my favorite, the medium roast. I got the dark roast. I got the espresso blend to still try. I'm super, super excited about it. By the way,
hold up the dark roast for you, but my wife just made a cup for herself, and it's over there, and I can't get it.
How is the missus liking the coffee? Is she enjoying the coffee?
She enjoys it. Off the cuff, unprompted on air. She goes, that coffee is really good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're not hucksters here. We're telling you this is good coffee. Believe it. It's good coffee.
We got to do one of those TikToks where we take the from Bridesmaids. You remember when she's having the lemonade? And she's like,
It's fresh.
fresh.
Yeah. Very
We
good.
got to do that.
That's fresh.
That's so fresh.
It's good stuff. It's not, it's fantastic. And you get all the aroma and everything.
Oh, the best. Of course, I'm not going to find the damn comment I meant to save. Oh, wait, here, hold on. Here we go.
Remember, we're running on 2 out of 4 cylinders today for some reason.
Just nothing is working properly.
No, this is rough right now.
Yeah.
It's a rough go.
Yeah, it's all. Oh, but no, because here's what I love. I love when people share their honest opinion on the products that we have.
Yeah, it's helpful. Number one.
It's
Number
great.
two. I haven't come across a negative one, which is great.
There has not been one negative one, and every single one of them has been positive. We go to our last episode here. Rennie, thank you so much for the kind comments. She says, and you can see right in the middle of the page there, Frank, I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
I ordered the Jumpstart Dark Roast for my grandson at the University of Miami. He loves it.
Boom. Rennie, appreciate that.
Appreciate that, Rennie, so much.
Awesome.
So thank you. Yes,
Love it.
That's very kind. Yeah, we're gonna, we got a couple of extra Anthony on Air mugs. We got to start giving those out to people. That maybe that's what we'll do if you put a positive, if you put it or an honest review. They're all going to be positive. But if you put an honest review of Jumpstart Coffee, in the comments, maybe we'll gather some of those up and we'll give out some free mugs.
And we'll talk to our promotions department. See what
Got to get in touch with that promotions department.
When we track them down. When we track them down, when we find them, we'll let you know.
So thanks, Rennie, for the kind words. It really, no bullshit, is the best coffee. Great coffee, great cause. 50% of their profits go to the Navy SEAL Foundation, which is tremendous that they're supporting them and making such a good coffee. Besides that, Frank's wife, when she's walking around the house nude and drinking coffee, this is her preferred naked coffee, which is just, she doesn't have to do that. That's
special.
Very nice.
It is special. You know what's cool too? And I just noticed this. I had no idea because I didn't look underneath. There's a little sticker. It says roasted on. It gives you the roasted on date.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah, a little date underneath. It says roasted on. And boom, there's your roasted on date.
Delightful.
Did not know that. Pretty cool.
15% off your order right now. Use the promo code AOA15. Order with the link in the description below or click the banner on the homepage of AnthonyOnAir.com. Our thanks to the fine folks over at Jumpstart Coffee Company.
Good stuff.
Gabby Petito water bottle. So they found a Gabby Petito water bottle. I saw that headline. I was like, okay, no big deal. The water bottle was found in the Carlton Reserve Nature Park where Brian Laundrie's remains were discovered. It has been turned over to local police. The bottle sparked viral speculation among internet sleuths after a TikToker claimed to have found it in the Carlton Reserve because it looked the same as a container that was in a previous video with Gabby Petito.
So a TikToker finds it, says it looks like Gabby's, and it's smart for them to turn it over to the authorities. So they turn it over to the local people there, the local police?
Yeah, well, it's great, but what the fuck? Why is that park even open still? Why? That entire 25,000 acre park should be a crime scene, closed.
The entire park, 25,000 acres.
I would shut down Florida if that were up to me right now.
Well, that has nothing to do with this case. That's just a general.
No, but I mean, for real. Like, why is anybody allowed to walk into this fucking park? That seems crazy to me. Like,
it's a huge park. I mean, I'm sure the crime scene area is probably closed off and a good amount of space around it. But the whole park, how long is, this investigation could go on forever, for years. They're going to close down the whole park?
I mean, not for years, but I mean, at least they just found the guy's body. I mean, give him a week to get it all together. God, and it wasn't like they found everything in one little spot. It was sort of kind of spread out in this one, area.
One area. So you can't. I don't know if you can close down an entire preserve or whatever. Preserve.
That seems fucking crazy to me that they can't do this.
All right. Well, if you're in like, let's say the crime scene was in a strip mall. Do they close like in one store? Do they close down the whole strip mall,
I
or do
think
they
for
close down that one store?
I think for like a week, you shut her down for. You gotta get you give him time to sweep the area, see what's what. You know, see what's happening in there. I don't know.
You don't know.
Who knows? You don't know what you're gonna find. Who knows if she was writing stuff down
Yeah.
and
No,
it's
I
in a
agree.
book and he had it and she was like, oh, we were fighting today or whatever. You know what I'm
No, I
saying?
agree. You shut down as much as you can shut down. I get that. So where this was found with him around his body.
This was supposedly found in the Carlton Reserve. Josh Taylor, our pal, confirmed to the Post that the water bottle is now in the department's possession. Olivia Vitale is the TikToker. She posted a video showing the moment the bottle was discovered with her filming while walking through the grass while on a search. I mean, this is fucking crazy.
Well, how close to the crime scene was this?
I don't know, but too close. By the way, I have the video. Do you want to see the video when the father discovers the.
Is it okay to see, or is it like disturbing?
It's not disturbing. What's disturbing about it is how close.
He can get to it.
Yeah, and no, but how close a member of the media was to this all happening.
Yeah.
Like for the people that are like, oh, this is just like crazy, or there's a lot of conspiracy theory people out there, which it's a weird time, Frank. I totally understand and empathize with wanting to be, um, suspicious of the parents of his parents.
Right.
I believe they've brought that on themselves, like any sort of suspicion they deserve. But on the other hand, I don't understand. Like again, we talk about conspiracy theories. Unless there's an end game or a point or a purpose or a motivation, it's not what are you talking about then?
Yeah. Well, you just bringing up something just to bring it up. It has no purpose. So why? What's the?
So, but there's like a lot of people like, oh, they waited to that exact moment or this or that. Like, there's all this kind of, and I'm like, why? But
Yeah, but if he's dead,
he's dead. What's the
what?
purpose?
Yeah, I mean, and it's from what we can tell, he's been dead for probably more than a week.
Yeah.
Why would they wait? I mean, why would they know he's dead and not? It's a weird. I don't think they knew anything about his his well being or not.
I mean, I think they thought that he went,
Yeah, yeah, but I don't think they knew his state. What condition he was in. I think they said goodbye to him, and he left, and that was the last they heard from him. That's what I believe.
I think so. And I mean, I think if they kind of knew obviously they knew where he was going. They knew where the friggin' car was, right? So I think they knew some stuff, but I don't understand. Like, there are some people out there screaming, like, "Oh, this is like," or like that the father like planted this stuff, and it's like,
He planted his child's bones in the. That's
no, like the notebook or the dry bag or anything. Here, let me show you the video. I'll bring it up. Apologies to people that are listening, but here, this is it. This is from Dave Sweeps. Credit him on YouTube. I don't even think he was the original person that had this. But there's okay, so but this is what's creepy. So whoever the person was, I don't think it's Dave Sweeps. I don't think he's the original person of this video. I wish I could find the original person. I'm sorry, I don't have it. But the original person, the media member, this is how close they were. There's the mom, and there's the dad.
right.
And the mom was walking down the path as we described, and the dad veered off to take a look, and he found the bag. And like, this is like a member of the like, what? Why is there a person that's not the police and that's not somebody that can help standing right the hell there taking video?
Because this isn't a scene of anything yet until they find something. When they do searches, and he has it in his hand.
So now he has. Yeah, they don't have him coming out. I don't know why, but that's him right after. with the mother, and he grabbed it because he didn't want the guy that was taking. And you can see he looks at the guy taking video, and they start walking away.
Yeah, I mean,
And the
until
Laundrie
something's
family.
found, it's not a crime scene yet. I mean, it's right now. It's just when you get search parties together, it's just random people. Then they could walk through anything.
Hmm.
Anybody's allowed to go through anything until it's cordoned off for some reason. I mean, just because they're searching through that doesn't mean they're going to find anything.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. Seems like a lot of things are a little
yeah,
bit strange, and
it's weird.
TikTokers finding water bottles now.
So that was her water bottle, and it's definitely hers, not his.
It was described as hers because I believe she
Could have
was
been
drinking out of it
theirs.
in a previous video. Could be theirs, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. I feel there's a lot missing here. Cell phones, some kind of if there's a weapon involved, who knows? You don't know how much they could find within the next couple weeks. Who knows? If they're still even out there, searching for stuff, who knows?
All right, next thing, and I can't believe this is real. Of course, the story for people who, I mean, if you've been living under a rock, Alec Baldwin killed a woman, injured another man on the set of a movie. He was preparing a prop gun. They were kind of going through they were blocking the scene. Like he was to pull the gun out and point it, I think, at the camera. That was what the scene was going to be. And supposedly they went out to lunch, and from what I understand, not Alec, but the crew went off site. They left they didn't have lunch at the catering nearby. They went off site to talk about other issues that were happening on this film. They came back. The second director said the gun was cold, which means that there's nothing in it. They gave it to Baldwin. Baldwin pulls it out. Gun goes off. Boom. Hits the cinematographer, who's usually the person who's operating the camera, and the director, the director. She dies, I believe, almost instantly, and he was taken to a hospital and released a couple days later. A
Horrible accident.
horrific accident. And I don't know if it's just the way I've come across it, but like when I first heard about it, and I went online, there was somebody, the Arizona whatever, because this happened out there in, I believe, Arizona,
New Mexico,
or New Mexico. Yeah, the New Mexico register paper, whatever. Like actually had pictures of him, and it looked like he was on the phone telling somebody. It was like,
and he was hunched over, like crying.
yeah, awful, just awful. And I remember it made me think about, because I had Greg Allman on the show, and he told me before he died, he told me that they were getting ready to make a movie about his life.
Sorry.
And I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. So when the movie started production, like we were all over it on the morning show, and we were like tracking every last thing. Just so happens one day they're filming a scene by train tracks. Nobody from the movie company cleared it with the I don't even know what you would, train authority or whoever you would call to be like, hey, we're going to be on these tracks filming. Fucking train comes by, boom, takes out one of the young ladies on the crew. She died instantly. So this immediately made me think of that. It was just kind of negligence, just awful, bad situations happening.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like it stinks. The guy didn't intentionally kill anybody, obviously.
No.
And it made everybody think about Brendan Lee, Bruce Lee's kid. He died the same way.
That's right. Didn't Bruce Lee as well?
Oh yeah, I think he. Yeah, didn't he?
Bruce Lee died filming a movie. He was, I think,
Something with the gun. Why?
it was
By
a
the
gun
way,
as well.
I've heard 7 people give me an answer on this, and I still don't understand why on earth there's real bullets in these guns
Anywhere near set.
I don't understand why. I mean, I get caps and gunpowder and all that kind of jazz.
Like a real bullet should be as weird to bring to a set as like a spaceship. Like they just don't belong there.
And I know that there's I know they use real guns.
Sure.
to make, because they want it to look real. I understand that. But I don't, yeah. And supposedly like 7 people are, oh, so here's the other part of it. Like 7 people are supposed to check it, but apparently this wasn't a union set. So they didn't have as many people. Then I hear a clip of the prop master on a podcast a month before, and she's like, it's like her first job. She's like, oh yeah, I'm like learning as I go. She's like, but I'm picking things up, and it's like,
Oh boy.
not on the Western, like gun-toting Western movie, like,
Well, the question is, where did the real bullet come from? Who brought that?
who I have no fucking clue. But supposedly the second AD or whatever, the last guy to clear it, or the guy who said it was a cold gun when he gave it to Baldwin, supposedly has a track record of like slipping up on prop things in the past,
Man.
which is just awful. So then today, so that was Friday of last week.
Yeah.
Today, Don Jr. is trending because he's selling a shirt that says "Guns don't kill people. Alec Baldwin kills people," and I'm like, there is no fucking way this is real. I'm like, and this is the most disgusting thing the left has ever done to frame.
You're right.
Like a Trump person, but nope. There it is.
There it is.
This guy is legit selling this fucking shirt. And I think to myself, like, have we lost our minds?
No,
know
the Trump family has. They're garbage. They are garbage. This is an example of the garbage that they put out there.
I know a lot of mud gets slung around, and I know Alec Baldwin played Trump on SNL. And I know they must take that as a great insult. And believe you me, any chance to take a shot back at Alec Baldwin,
fair game.
I love the guy, but he runs his mouth a lot, and he certainly deserves whatever he's got coming to him. This is you're dragging an innocent person into this. It's not the right. I can't believe I have to fucking say this.
Not only that, what he's selling this for. I'm sure he's keeping the money. I'm sure this isn't going to a charity. I don't know. I haven't seen any of this. Again, but my bet would be it's not going to a charity.
When his wife made up the fake thing, you deserve to be dragged through. You get kicked while down, put in the barrel, dragged to the mud. Whatever you want to say, fair game. Your wife does something. That's all part of it. She's in the if she wasn't in the public, different story. She's in the public. She's got a podcast. She made up the fact that she was I can't even remember what it was, Spanish or whatever the fuck it was, and she's making up accents. She's from fucking Massachusetts. Great. You should fucking pummel her publicly, on Twitter till your heart's content. But a fucking poor girl, she's a mother. She's got a husband. This guy's going through all this. Now this fucking guy, I can't even believe we have this. Like, in no way is this like funny at all.
I mean, why? The class, the thing to do that demonstrates you have some kind of class is if you're gonna make a statement. So sorry this happened. You do the classy.
I don't even care for that. By the way, his wife came out today and she's like, "Oh, my heart is." Shut the fuck up. Nobody needs to know where your heart is. Like, your husband already made a statement on it. I thought that was fine. He said he was working with the authorities. He feels terrible. Obviously, we don't need you chiming in, like adding your 2 cents. Okay. When it comes to making up, if you're from another country and you're from Massachusetts, then we'll come to you. That's what your expertise is. But until then, nobody needs your 2 cents. She put out a statement today. I thought it was in poor taste too. But this is like, I mean,
who would wear this?
Okay, and then so I want to just also say this too. When it happened, I was on Twitter and I saw a guy put on Twitter. He retweeted, or he quote tweeted, an old Alec Baldwin tweet. And Alec was talking about, it was something to do in the heat of last year with the police violence and killing innocent people. And Alec's quote or statement on it was, "How does it feel to kill an innocent person?" And the guy retweeted it with like a, "Well, isn't this ironic?" kind of a thing. And I thought that was in poor taste. But even that, I was like, it's just a tweet. Like, what's the big deal? To put it on a fucking shirt
and make money off of it.
I mean, what the fuck are you doing? And I understand that Don Jr. has become this I'm going to point out everybody's bullshit kind of a guy. Like, that's fine. But again, there's got to be somebody in the camp that raises their hand and goes, I just don't know if this is a good idea because a woman was killed and she had nothing to do with Trump versus Baldwin and the impressions and all the other stuff that these two entities, engaged with. Somebody's got to be like, yeah, you know what? We don't really need this kind of a shirt.
I could picture his stupid idiot head going, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to make a shirt out of this. It's going to be hilarious. Yeah. I'm going to get Alec Baldwin with this shirt. Go fuck yourself, you asshole.
For $27.99. And what pisses me off more that he's turned me into like an old man of like, this is disrespectful. It is, but mostly I'm offended because it's not funny. It's just, you got to kind of know, read the room a little bit and know what's happening.
It's just comedy. You gotta, what's it called? Legalize comedy. What's the problem?
I get it. I like nudging the libs too. I understand, but this is,
where's the line then? If this is comedy, if he's putting this out there as comedy,
I don't think this is comedy. I think this is like, oh, I'm gonna get Alec Baldwin, which again, get Alec all you want, fine, but you have to know when it involves a third part, like a third innocent party that had nothing.
He's pulling in a person's tragic death in order to zing Alec Baldwin is what he's doing. And
right.
It's terrible.
And it's like, come on.
It's like, oh, here, this woman died. Now I can get Alec Baldwin. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
I know we're asking a lot for politicians and Hollywood people to have some class, but let's just, I don't think it's demanding too much to have enough class to be like, let's just avoid. Look, you want to make that joke behind closed doors at somebody that's been shitting on your father for 4 years? Okay. No, I'm always going to know about it anyway.
Donald Trump Jr. is neither Hollywood nor politician, so I don't know what he is, but garbage is the best thing I can come up with.
I agree with you on this one. I just thought this is just awfully done. Just absolutely awfully done.
I forgive people if they're hearing my sniffles. I have little allergies today.
Credit to Paul for sending this story over. A Palm Beach County judge on Friday signaled that he would release secret grand jury records that could explain why Jeffrey Epstein didn't face serious charges for everything that he did in Palm Beach for more than a decade ago. Circuit Judge Donald Hafele, probably made that. I probably didn't do that.
You butchered that name.
Hafele? Hafele?
Hafali? I don't know.
I'm probably going to release these records, he said, after listening to the Palm Beach Post's argument about why the transcripts of a 2006 grand jury hearing should be made public. Hafele didn't make a final decision. He said he would summon the attorneys back to court when he has finally made up his mind. But he said there are few reasons to keep these records secret. This is one of many, like this. We need to know what's in this deal. So I'm happy that this guy is.
Thank goodness. When does this come out?
He's going to summon the attorneys back in and see what they have to say. Again, I don't know if his attorneys are fighting necessarily all that hard anymore now that he's gone and the brother's running the estate here, but
good. Let it all come out, man.
Yeah.
It's about time. What are we waiting for? What's the holdup? Just release what's got to be released.
Yes.
Get this trial underway with Ghislaine, and let's just get this done. It's one of these things that when it's in the past, we're going to be like, thank God this is over.
Thank God this is over. Yeah, I agree 100%. Dave Chappelle speaks up again. Of course, I was right about this all along. I continue to be right. Let's bring in our Dave Chappelle expert. That's JSabs. What's up there, JSabs?
How'd you know?
How are you?
Well, you know me, so.
Fresh off your well-rested vacation, you son of a bitch.
I wouldn't say well-rested, but it was still good. It was
still well rested. You didn't have the kids with you.
It's still a lot.
That's true.
You want to catch up on your vacation in a couple of minutes?
Sure.
After a couple topics here.
Sure.
Your
Tell
ring
us
light
about
is prominently featured in the shot tonight.
It is.
You know what?
That's nice.
I had to move it because
Nice glare on the screen.
there's a few things on the floor.
I don't know what that means. It sounds like that was code for something, but I just don't know what it is.
I won't tell.
Okay.
It's either crickets or sex toys.
Yeah.
Or both.
So Dave
Crickets with sex
Chappelle
toys.
is speaking out. Since we last left this story, Netflix employees were staging a walkout,
Oh,
or the
God.
transgender employees, at least. I can't remember who, or the people who support. I don't know. Doesn't matter. From what I understand, a lot of them walked out and caused quite the traffic jam and made this quite the story. Ted Sarandos walked back his comments a little bit, but didn't really let up too much on this, and obviously is nowhere near entertaining the idea of taking this special off the air. Actually, credit to Paul, who gave us the Epstein story first. He also sent me this tweet. I'll read it to you here. It was from Bill Maher, who is defending Chappelle, and he says, Dave's special is so offensive, but not the show where Koreans murder each other for money.
Right.
Referring to Squid Game, which is obviously super big right now. So this is Squid Game. I feel like is Tiger King big when Tiger King, right?
It's huge right now.
It's bigly.
I remember a few weeks ago, about a few weeks ago, I told you about Squid Game. You're like, what the hell is that? That's stupid. We're not talking about that. I was like,
We'll
okay.
talk about Squid Game. I don't know what the fuck that is. Leave me alone.
Never heard of it.
I literally put it on the last. That was the last one, and then I think I just said we have like 2 minutes. You want to talk about your stupid show?
Yeah, and I don't even think I got half a sentence out. You like cut me off, and you're like, all right, we gotta go.
Yeah, never mind.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
get your stock tips right here, everyone.
Right.
You can pick the winners every time.
So now Chappelle is coming back and saying that he is not bending to anybody's demands. He was doing another stand-up gig. It wasn't a special. He was just doing a stand-up gig, and he recorded it and he released it. It's a little long. Do you want to hear it?
No.
Okay.
Well, it's honest.
I kind of feel like it's important to hear it from his.
You shouldn't have said it was a little long.
Right, that's what she said.
Cadence. I'm gonna play it. Listen, I'm gonna play it. You tell me. You signal
How'd
me
you
when
even
it's
ask?
getting too boring, and
shouldn't have
you
even
want me
asked
to yank
this.
it.
That's what she said.
All right. Here's Chappelle. Oh, by the way, I love the fact that he calls out Hannah Gatsby. Hannah Gatsby was the second person. She's a comic, I believe, a lesbian. I also believe a she. I apologize if I'm labeling this all incorrectly. But give me
Do
a
your
break.
research.
I don't feel good. And I didn't bother to go back and look at Hannah. But I remember Hannah was saying, Hannah kind of jumped in after the original girl was like, I hate being on this network with this transgender hater. Hannah was like the one that kind of like hopped in. Oh, that was right. Because Ted Sarandos said, hey, we have very diverse comics. We have everything from Dave Chappelle to Hannah Gatsby. And Hannah
Right.
Gatsby
She was like brought in out of nowhere.
Thanks a lot for dragging me into this asshole. In which Dave Chappelle took a lot. Because again, if I'm a stand-up comic and you're comparing me to Dave Chappelle, I'll take that as a fucking compliment every single day of the week to be mentioned in the same sentence as him. But that's just me. I'm crazy like that. I'm silly. Can you guys hear this?
It's been said in the press
Yes.
that I was invited to speak to the transgender employees at Netflix, and I refuse. That is not true. If they had invited me, I would have accepted it, although I am confused about what we are speaking about. I said what I said, and boy, I heard what you said. My God, how could I not? You said you want a safe working environment at Netflix. Well, it seems like I'm the only one that can't go to the office anymore.
By the way, I just love his cadence. I could listen to this man talk forever.
Oh yeah, he's a great speaking voice, a great speaker in general.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I like his voice.
And I think we should play this because he points out the hypocrisy and bullshit that's out there. So, take a listen to it.
Can we play this? No.
You're right.
Okay.
I want everyone in this audience to know that even though the media frames this, that it's me versus that community, that is not what it is. Do not blame the LGBTQ community for any of this shit. This has nothing to do with them. It's about corporate interests and what I can say and what I cannot say.
Good point, no?
Sure.
For the record, and I need you to know this, everyone I know from that community has been nothing but loving and supporting. So I don't know what all this nonsense is about. In summer 2020, when the whole world shut down, I was outside doing shows. My neighbor had a cornfield, and he let me throw shows there, and people came from all over the country. Some people came from around the world to see those shows. The best comedians on earth came to my home and broke bread with me, and we lived our lives. We found a way to keep moving forward. I made a whole documentary about it. The first night of those shows was a piece that some of you might have seen. It was called 846, and it dealt with the murder of George Floyd. This film that I made was invited to every film festival in the United States, and some of those invitations I accepted. And when this controversy came out about the closer, they began disinviting me from these film festivals. And now, today, not a film company, not a movie studio, not a film festival, nobody will touch this film. Thank God for Ted Sarandos at Netflix. He's the only one that didn't cancel me yet.
Now, isn't that messed up? Everybody on the planet invited this guy to their film festival, and now all of a sudden, he can't get a deal anywhere.
I get it.
He's the hottest comic on the planet, and he cannot get a deal anywhere. Like this isn't the progress that everybody proclaims these things are supposed to be.
To the transgender community, I am more than willing to give you an audience, but you will not summon me. I am not bending to anybody's demands. And if you want to meet with me, I'd be more than willing to, but I have some conditions. First of all, you cannot come if you have not watched my special from beginning to end. You must come to a place of my choosing and a time of my choosing. And thirdly, you must admit that Hannah Gadsby is not funny. I desperately want people to see this movie, but I understand why investors would be nervous. Since nobody will touch it, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will make it available for all of you in 10 American cities, going on sale in the next few days. You will.
All right, so he's gonna put this out and do it himself. Which honestly, he doesn't need anybody to do it. He could do it himself.
Yeah, sounds good.
But I feel like he makes some important points there, and one being you can't come to this meeting if you haven't watched my entire special, which I would guarantee you 99% of the people complaining haven't.
Probably not. Yeah.
And the other thing too is, what was the second point he made before the Haddock Gatsby thing, which I thought was hysterical?
Time and place of his choosing.
Yeah, which I think is important because again, you know, like people are forgetting that he is a member of a minority community and that
Right.
he also has some things to say, and he's had a lot of stuff to overcome. And I think he has every right to not sort of bend and cower, which
Totally.
everybody thinks is the answer, and it just flat out isn't.
No.
He's standing his ground, as he should.
As he should, because as we've talked about, and as he's alluded to, and Frank, you and I even we carried our conversation. I'm not going to divulge our entire conversation post show, last show, or the show before that. I forget what it was. But I was thinking about it, and I the point that I want to bring to the air here is that, as he alluded to, you have people in the LGBTQ community that are supporting him and that don't understand it. I watched that whole special and felt like it was pro LGBTQ, and that was my takeaway from this. And you guys know my feelings on on that community, and I'm very supportive of it. So the idea that there is this, movement against him, you can't help but think it's for people that are out for their own gain.
Right.
That they're out for their own, intentions. And on top of that, like he alluded to, the corporate media, what happens is it's like a schoolyard fight. Two people have a little bit of a dust up. Next thing you know, the whole crowd is chanting fight, fight, fight. And now it's become such a bigger thing than it was really ever supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. The entire
That's all.
thing.
You could stop there. You don't have to keep going after you're right.
Oh, okay. I'm done. I think it has been blown out of proportion. Just I think a conversation could have been had. The LGBTQ community could have, a few people are pissed off about it. That's your right to be pissed off, and if you wanted to bring it up with people, bring it up. But it's become. I mean, is this the worst? No, the worst he made some jokes. I get it. I didn't care for that part. I liked 99% of it. I thought it was hilarious, but that one part for me just didn't sit right. It just felt out of place. I get that. But you're right. The media is definitely fanning a flame a little bit here.
Because look, and he said what he said, and obviously there's some truth behind the Hannah Gatsby thing. I really think he's upset that another comedian, I don't think it has anything to do with Hannah Gatsby, anything that has to do with Hannah Gatsby, other than the fact that she's a comedian and is not standing with him, which I think probably bugs him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it should, because I have this problem too. I used to hate it when radio guys were like,
well, that's not fair.
We're like, well, this is what would happen on radio. Some dumb radio show somewhere would say something stupid, and then another dumb radio show somewhere else would be like, oh, well, they should be fired. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? This is gonna be you, in 3 weeks, and then you're gonna be like, nobody's here supporting me because you're a fucking asshole.
Well, look at this from the other side then. A few trans people are pissed off. Why aren't all the trans people pissed off? It's their fight too. But there are a lot of trans people that aren't pissed off. Do you call them traitors to trans people?
No, it's slightly different. It's different. I'm talking about freedom of speech and political correct talk. I'm not talking about rights in general. The trans fight is a
Hold
bigger.
on one minute. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I have to go.
Just talking about being on sides of, what's it called? If the comedians, they all band together because one comedian gets hit. Well, great, but when a group of trans people don't back this one trans,
no, I'm just saying that the trans are fighting for rights and they're fighting for a lot of different things.
Right.
This I'm talking about in a comics world, in the radio people world. This is political correctness, freedom of speech stuff. It's a lot less. Does that make any sense? It's not like, I feel like the radio guys jumping on are there to just fucking score points. Again, Hannah Gatsby should have the wherewithal as somebody who does this for a living. And again, Hannah Gatsby, I believe, is just a lesbian comedian. I don't think she's transgender, but certainly part of the LGBTQ community.
I don't know what she said though.
She said to Ted Sarandos, like, don't include me in this. I've had to fight enough battles. And it's like, I would have been
All right.
fucking honored. I would have been honored if the head guy at Netflix pointed
Well,
out
that's
my
you.
comedy special as part of the thing of like, that's great about the diversity of the company. I would have taken that as a great compliment.
Yeah, but she didn't want to be. You could kind of see her point of
She
view of
didn't-
not being want to be pulled into a controversy.
She didn't want to be, but on the other hand, she also didn't miss her opportunity to score points with the PC police and be on that whole fucking side of it, which I feel is the wrong side to be on.
When did she jump on that side? She said
When-
she didn't want to be a part of it. She
when she
tried
said
to
she
stay
didn't-
neutral.
Yeah, when she said she didn't want to be a part of it.
How is that picking sides? That's staying neutral. That's
No.
don't involve me. That's what that is.
Yeah, but her statement was very nasty. Like, she's got to deal with bullshit every day and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, Dave
I don't
Chappelle
know
hasn't had to
exactly.
deal with bullshit over the course of his fucking
Sure.
career.
It looks like my battery's about to die. Just letting you know. If my mic goes out, that's what's happening.
Anyway, my original point was to your point about the mainstream media is that the Hannah Gatsby thing is a joke. And even though there's some truth behind it, and I'm sure he's annoyed, it's a joke. It's a moment of levity in a serious situation. I'm on Twitter just prior to the podcast, and you have to see people honing in on that one. Like, this is the next battle now. They're going to peg Hannah Gatsby against Dave Chappelle. And it's all because it's this, again, that schoolyard mentality of like, oh, did you hear what so-and-so said? And it gets like passed down the line. It's a game of fucking telephone.
I know, I get that, but not everything. See, this is where it gets muddy and it gets weird, because that clip that we just saw, the whole clip wasn't joke. He was talking about a real situation.
Yeah.
And he peppered in jokes.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, which part are we to take seriously? Which part are we? Well, he was just joking.
I mean, you could see it in his tone. He was
Yeah, you
joking.
can.
He was joking about Hannah, but there was some truth behind it. But
Right.
it was said in a lighthearted, like, I don't think that if there is this meeting, by the way, I want to talk about this meeting. If there is a meeting between the LGBTQ people or whoever was offended initially and him, I don't think he's going to sit there and go, tell me Hannah Gatsby's not funny. He's not going to do that.
No, of course not.
Obviously.
But my point is,
But when you look at this thing in print, I'm sorry to cut you off, but when you look at it in print and how blogs and media are going to position this, it's Dave Chappelle demands you admit Hannah Gatsby's not funny in order to. That's a problem. Though.
I get that, but the other side of it is some of the stuff in his specials are serious, a little bit of it, right? It's meant to be actual thought and actually what he says and things like, I'll meet with them. This is not the truth. This is what happened. This is all him talking seriously, not joking, right?
Right.
So that, I think, where people, I could be wrong, but that's where people, I think, got maybe confused with the last special with the
I know, but humor is humor, and I could look at this and go, he was clearly joking. He's not going to expect anybody
Absolutely.
to admit that woman's not funny.
I get that. What I'm saying is not everything in a comedy special is humor. And I think that's where the closer, that's where people got confused, where he was saying the stuff about, I forget what the acronym was. What is it? The feminist turf. When he was saying that stuff, was that him being real? Like, I'm a turf person? Or was that him just setting up a joke?
Maybe they'll hammer it out in this meeting. I think that, by the way, the meeting is genius because there is no way that anybody will, like, the people that are pushing this persecution of him, they don't want this. That's not the end game. The end game is cancel, have him lose deals, have him this or that. The end game is not, there's nothing for him to learn because he's a supporter of that community, which is evident by that entire special.
Then that's what should come. See, the people who want this meeting, if they truly want the meeting,
they don't.
How do you know that? What if
I
they
know
do?
they don't.
How do you know?
It's just not their thing.
Who?
They'll have nothing when they get
Which is great. What if they come out of the meeting going, we saw Dave Chappelle's side of it, and we agree with him, or yeah, we still kind of don't agree. We still hold our ground. I mean,
I think it's great if they actually do it. I would be surprised if, again, the first young lady, I forget her name all the time.
Yeah, I think you're giving too much. You're not giving them enough credit. Maybe they're the trans community. If anybody's open minded, I think they'll be open minded to hearing the other side of things. I mean,
Well, I think it's the woman who's the writer on Dear White People. She's the one who started this. It should be the meeting. I don't know
Yeah.
who else should be there.
that would be great. Well, maybe the Netflix guys.
Oh, sure.
What's his name, Sarandon, or
But I don't think I don't think she'll show up. I just don't. And I don't
that
think
doesn't make sense. Then she lost. Then she loses that battle. That's a lost battle. If she doesn't show up to this thing, Dave Chappelle will just go out there and say, "I went, had the meeting. She didn't show." And
again, I don't think their end game and this is why I have a problem with it. And this is where I think you and I differ, because I see their end game as cancel. It's not
that's
progress. It's not change or
That's-
progress or education.
That's what I see.
You
see.
want it to be that. I
That's
don't.
what it should be.
Right.
And I don't think. I think that's their intention, but I think they with the cancel goes about it the wrong way. But if this meeting happens, that's a step in the correct direction, which is teach and educate.
I think they do, and this is where you and I differ, because I think they at the surface it's change and help and all that, but I think the real intention is not that at all.
It's a very cynical
It is
point of view. You're not giving them enough credit to be like, well, maybe they do want change, and this meeting will be a step in that direction, and it's a great. Didn't they, the trans community and this woman, pose this meeting? Wasn't it them?
They may have. I don't know.
They came up with the idea for the meeting, I thought.
I'm not entirely sure, but I was happy that he stuck his ground, because I hate to say this, I really do, but he's the talent. He's the moneymaker.
He's great talent. He is.
But that's just the reality of the situation. This is the same thing with Rogan and the Spotify employees. It's like, oh, they're staging a walkout. They're staging it. You don't think that Netflix or Spotify can find a new fucking accountant or a new, marketing manager? Like,
well, then what's the point of any protest?
I'm just saying, know your fucking role. Like, nobody is, bless you. Nobody is giving up Chappelle or Rogan for fucking Judy in accounting. I'm sorry, but that's just the reality of the situation.
That's not the point of a walkout or a protest, is to be, well, you can't do this without me. It's to cause a disturbance in the flow of everyday stuff.
Well, I don't know about that, because she said, I can't work at Netflix if this guy is going to be on Netflix, which is kind of like a either he goes or I go scenario. And then when all the employees rally around that, what are they saying?
They're disrupting. Of course they could I'm sure there's people lining up around the block that would want to work at Netflix. But the point is, if 50 people walk out, that's going to put a big damper, and it's not going to do anything.
I think even a show like Dear White People, which I'm assuming does well for them, I think even if they lose that entire show, they would still lose that show over losing Dave Chappelle.
Well, then the point is amplified then. So if it's not about hurting Netflix or anything, it's about their own self-worth and saying, well, I just can't work for a place that does this.
Well, yeah, well, that's fine. Then just stop. Then,
Then that's what they're doing. Then if they do, I can't do this if they're not going to change.
We'll see. But I thought he made a good point in the beginning when he was like, it seems like I'm the only one not welcome there. They want a safe, inclusive environment. And now all of a sudden I can't fucking show up.
He can go there. They invited him there. Why can't I'm sure that's exaggerated. He can't walk into the Netflix office.
I don't know how welcome he would be. Sure, he might catch a stapler across the face.
I'm sure there are a ton of people there that are on his side.
Yeah, I would be one of those people too, because I'd be like, hey, I don't know if you guys know this, but fucking Chappelle's paying our salaries right now. That's what's happening. Dave Chappelle and the Koreans might die doing money tricks. They're all those people. We got to keep them happy right now.
Yeah, that's not a good comparison, but that's a joke comparison. The fucking Squid Game is a scripted fucking TV show.
I'm just saying, if Squid Game got upset about something, I'd be like, let's try and keep Squid Game happy. Let's make sure Squid Game's okay.
I get it. But if whatever pays
You don't want
your
all that
salary,
newfound Squid Game money walking out the door.
if,
Kids. Oops.
if whatever pays your what?
That's my fault. I went back to you too early. I should have given it a second.
If whatever pays your salary goes against your principles, then that's what it is.
No, look, obviously you should fight for it. But again, I and I applaud the people of Netflix and Spotify for speaking up and speaking their mind. But again, know the temperature of the room. No, I'm just fucking Bill from accounting. You know what I'm saying? Like, like all these people that are like, that's a bad example. Let me not go into that. But I just like, again, feel which way the wind blows. Know the temperature of the room, So anyway, my point, Janine, that you missed was that the people that are fighting for the people on the LGBTQ side, they don't want a meeting. That's not their end game. And by the way, that's not exclusive to LGBTQ. Most people in this situation, people that are always fighting for the cancellation, they don't want to sit down.
No, they just want to win.
That's how I feel.
They offered the meeting. They brought the meeting up and said, "Let's sit down, Dave Chappelle." They brought it up. Why even bring that idea up? And if Dave Chappelle shows up to this meeting and they don't, that's a win for Dave Chappelle. That's a loss for them.
Again, I have a different side of this because I went through something like this when people were fighting. They wanted my head for fucking.
Well, you're an asshole.
They thought I was part of Big Peanut, and I'm not a part of Big Peanut.
What?
This story again.
By the way, can we talk about this for a second? Honey roasted peanuts are fucking delicious.
Oh yeah, they're better than the plain salted.
Why are we not honey roasting other things? Is there another thing that's honey roasted that's not a peanut?
Honey nut Cheerios is better than regular Cheerios.
That's true. Because regular Cheerios are kind of gross.
Well, they're dry.
Very plain and dry. Yeah.
They're like, okay.
Yeah. But that's honey nut. I mean, is that honey roasted? I don't even know.
Ooh.
We should try honey roasting some Cheerios.
What else you want to honey roast?
I'll fucking anything.
These
right now.
nuts.
Yeah. By the way, I got worked over by the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts 2 weeks in a row. I don't know if you guys have this or you guys have this where you are. They camp out at my bagel store now.
Oh, they set up shop right outside?
Right out front.
This is why I don't leave the house.
Just easy. Just tell them you don't have cash, which is probably true.
It is true most of the times of these 2 weeks. I literally took money. Oh, because I had to go to your stupid brother's stupid party a couple weeks ago.
Which you loved.
I don't even remember what the fuck it was for, but I had to take out money for that. And I was like, oh, let me take out a couple extra bucks and have cash on me. And now it's all gone because the Boy Scouts hit me up for caramel corn.
You're going to love it when that caramel corn shows up.
$10 for a bag of caramel corn like this.
Ew, why would you even pay money for caramel corn?
I go, give me the small caramel corn bag. How much is that? Kid goes, $10. I looked at him like, are you fucking for real?
Is there haggling? Can you haggle with the Boy Scouts?
And then
I'll give you 8.
He gave me one of these. You don't have to buy anything. You can just donate. I'm like, damn, kid, you're going to be a great business person.
You're like, I should just get something for that anyway. Caramel corn is probably the most grossest candy ever.
What kind of popcorn do they have? Do they have like cheddar?
Well, they had cheddar, but it was even bigger bad. It was 2 inches bigger. I was afraid to ask how much that would have been.
That's a solid $15 right there.
Easily. So then today or yesterday, Sunday, I got hit up by the Girl Scouts. Girl Scouts. So they're out there. And I'm looking around and I go to the girl, I go, you don't got cookies? She goes, no, it's not the cookie time.
No, it's not
What
cookie
the hell
time
are they
yet.
doing?
So I pull out, I got $8 in my pocket left. I go, I got $8. What could I get? She goes, the honey roasted peanuts are $7. So I go, will you take 8? And the little girl goes, yeah. So I give her 8. The mother 2 minutes later goes, do you want your $1 back? And I looked at her. I'm like, you didn't get my little shtick that I just did there with your daughter? Like, will you take 8? It's 7. I'm being a nice guy, donating an extra $1 to the fucking. I almost took the $1 back just for her stupidity. But anyway, I left the $1 there.
That was nice of you to give a whole big $1. That was really nice.
Way to go. Yeah, your medal's in the mail.
Heart of gold.
We're working on the statue for you out front.
I don't do it for the praise, but I do happen to bring it up on the podcast just by coincidence. Yeah. So anyway, I take the real point of this is I take the things home. They're fucking delicious.
So what are you complaining about?
I almost went back to the thing and went, get me your supervisor on the phone. You guys should just toss the whole cookie thing and go into the peanut game. You guys are killing it in the peanut game.
And I don't understand. I mean, cookies and peanuts, why are there seasons for those? They should be all year round.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
another
know.
good point. But kind of have you noticed that the Girl Scout cookies have fallen off a little bit?
Yeah, they have.
Right?
How? What do
They're
you
not
mean,
as good as
quality?
they used to be.
They're
I
not.
haven't noticed a change. I only get like 2 or 3 different kinds. I only get.
I
The
mean, it's hard to
ones.
tell because my local Girl Scout cookie supplier, I order from her. I get them a year and a half later, so they're a little funky tasting to begin with.
Well, that's about right.
Yeah.
They're no Amazon.
They're no Amazon.
No,
That's right.
I don't
definitely
know how
not.
they're competing.
All right, our next story of I can't believe this is real. Ron DeSantis today says, which is total bullshit. He says though that he's going to pass a bill to offer a $5,000 incentive to law enforcement officers that are being forced to be vaccinated in their local municipalities. He said that they will never have a vaccine mandate in Florida. And if somebody's losing their job for that, they got a $5,000 incentive to move down to Florida and be a cop down
Wow.
there.
Okay. Well, I already know 2 people moving down to Florida. So, no, I'm serious. I'm serious. They're not in law enforcement, though. They just want to get out of New York because of everything going on here. So,
Right. Well, I get that. But I read this on Twitter. And again, maybe it's the way I'm coming across these stories. But I read this on Twitter from somebody else. And I go, there's no way they got that right. That cannot be fucking real.
Ridiculous.
And then I went to his statement. And sure enough, he said he's gonna-
$5,000.
Yeah. Which,
Okay.
by the way, that's total bullshit. Like, he's just saying this.
You think
There's-
he's just saying it just to say it?
I think
Yeah.
he's just saying it to score points with Republicans and patriots and get people all fired up. There's no he's like, we have the need. He's like, we need people. I'm like, there's no. And by the way, even if he does mean this, how many officers can he really be talking about here? How many? 10 for the whole
What if-
fucking state?
What if a horde of people just go right down and if like 100,000 people show up?
Yeah.
Give us our $5,000.
Yeah.
And then what? What if they get there? How long do you have to be a cop there to get your $5,000?
I don't know, but he said, he goes, we have needs. We're hiring, which I don't doubt that they're hiring.
Sure.
But you're not hiring 4,000 police officers.
No.
How many can you really be hiring? A couple hundred, maybe?
I
While
wonder.
supplies last.
It just
Honestly,
seems
it
crazy
doesn't make
to me.
any sense. It's one of those stupid promises that sounds good when you yell it at a crowd, but has no basis. in
Kind of
reality.
like if you get the vaccine, you won't have to wear a mask. Does sound like a good promise, but
Yeah, unfortunately, not everybody got the vaccine, so we still got to wear the mask.
That's not why. But okay.
Okay, good. We're
But-
never going to agree on that. So
You never are. But can I say this too? I did look at a chart, and the most deaths in the country for COVID, if you're gonna believe it, their COVID deaths have been
Yeah.
in Florida.
Right.
get out of town.
And it's like not even close. It's like Florida, Mississippi, I think Louisiana,
It was a fucking shock.
and then
Them old people. What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
are you
it's,
so
it's
cynical?
the old people.
You're not
It's not-
cynical when it comes to LGBTQ, but when it comes to this, you're the most cynical son of a
Right,
bitch.
Not
exactly.
cynical. Not cynical. I'm just.
I'd like to know the
Pissed.
ages.
It doesn't make any sense. It's like, well, when you don't do vaccine mandates and you don't give a shit, that's where the COVID's going to spike. That's the problem. Plain and simple. You want to talk reality? Let's talk reality. You want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts.
Janine, you missed last
Honey
episode.
roasted nuts.
Frank was getting drunk and on
Dropping
Metallica whiskey,
Truth bombs.
and we were talking about Trump's social media. It was one of Frank's
Oh
best.
boy.
Yeah, it was one of Frank's best.
Let me guess. He
we
talked
go.
shit about Trump. That's a shocker.
I mean, laid
I don't
laid
believe it.
into him.
Yeah, we don't all like sucking his. So moving on.
Oh.
Yeah, so Ron DeSantis is just
Oh.
Trump.
He's a little spicy
2.0.
tonight towards me. Go ahead.
Trump 2.0 is Ron DeSantis.
Well, I think he's mad that you went down to
Oh
Star
yeah.
Wars.
I
World
think that's
without him.
really it. So
I'm
I'd be mad at
jealous
you
that
too.
you went to
That's
Star
fucked up.
Wars World.
If you went to Dave Matthews Land without me, I'd be pissed.
right.
Oh, the problem that I have with Ron DeSantis is that he's running a state that has the highest COVID deaths, and it doesn't seem to give a shit. That's my problem.
All right.
But,
I don't know if he necessarily doesn't give a shit, but doesn't want to mandate it. So I think there's two different issues.
Well, do something that helps the cause instead of refusing to do anything.
Okay.
Supposedly in the year 2021, 120 police officers have died from COVID, 29 of which are from Florida.
It's a big number.
That's a big number?
Yeah, in 120 out of 100, and what was it?
What percentage of that? 120 nationwide. They're 29 of them are.
Yeah, that's 20%.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say, but
of cop deaths.
That doesn't feel right.
20% of the cop deaths from COVID are in one state. That's a big deal.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't make you want to not wear masks.
24%. 24%.
24. Okay, 24. Was
that
it
right?
129 was the number?
That's a lot to have a quarter of the nation's deaths in one state.
Yeah. Well, when you don't follow the rules, this is what happens.
Like if he's not careful, Don Jr. is going to make a shirt about him.
Right?
You leave yourself that open for something like that.
No, he's a Republican. He's not going to do that.
Who's the Democrat Don Jr.?
What?
They don't have one, do they?
Biden's son.
Oh, please, Frank. That's
What's
not
his name?
That's an embarrassment. That's not somebody out there trying to make jokes and
No.
and call bullshit. That's.
I thought you meant level of
stupidity.
Yeah. It's just a comparison. You got the son of the former president and the son of the current president.
Yeah. Another story where I was like, this isn't real. Trending on Twitter, Cowboys for Trump, which is a group, obviously, of cowboys for President Trump.
Okay.
The other day, the leader of that group, I believe his name is Coy Griffin.
Okay.
Couy. How do you say that name? I don't know.
Sounds like
He is now. I didn't think that this was true, but all the credit here to this cowboy. He called out President Trump for not getting much done during his presidency. Most notably, the thing that he seemed to be most upset about was that he never was able to get Hillary.
We supported President Trump because of his fight for justice as well. And for 4 years, we cried, lock her up, lock her up, lock her up. We know she's a criminal. What did the president tell us? If I was in charge of the law, you'd be in jail. Okay, Mr. President, you were in charge of the law for 4 years. At the end of your 4-year time, the only ones that were locked up were men like me and others like me that had stood by the president the strongest. We supported President Trump.
he's not wrong.
Because
Let's see, another promise that was not
Okay.
fulfilled. Am I wrong?
Okay. But
That's
the
what-
reason,
just repeating what he said.
Oh my God, a promise made by a president? That's crazy. That wasn't fulfilled? That's crazy.
but what I find interesting about this is, and this, by the way, is at a conference, which is for like the farthest righty rights patriots. People are calling it a QAnon conference. Maybe it is.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. Henry Cavill, guy who played Jesus in the Mel Gibson movie.
No, that
also,
would be Caviezel.
oh, Jim Caviezel. Oh, I'm sorry, not Superman. I got confused. Yeah,
I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, Jim Caviezel.
Right.
He basically quoted Mel Gibson's Braveheart speech at this thing.
Did he throw in a sugar tits line in there or no?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
He didn't. But a couple things on that. One with the Jim Caviezel thing is, the Q people have turned into the crybaby left. Like this is. I feel like this is the world I'm stuck in. Crybaby liberals who are just fighting for political correctness and cancellations, or I love America so much, Jesus is everything, and America and freedom. And I just feel like there's no
In between.
in between anymore.
No,
So you're
there
either
is in between, but you're just hearing the loudest halves. loudest
mean,
parts of those sides.
Super loud. And then the other point of me even playing this is I wonder if Trump is losing the support of the craziest of crazy, rightiest of righties.
Well, they don't seem to. That guy, at least, seems to see through a little bit of his stuff.
Because at a Q, I would very. It's kind of surprising to hear somebody on that side not back this guy. It's very
Sure
rare
is.
you don't have people backing the big cat.
It sure is.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where if Trump heard this, he'd be like, "Who's that guy? I don't even. That guy's never heard of him. He's a nobody. I hate you know." If you don't support him outright, you're dead to him. You're just not even a person to him. He can't see eye to eye with you. If you disagree with him, you're out. That's it. So we'll see if he has anything to say about it, which I doubt, because who knows if he even heard this guy.
I can't believe there are people that are going to QAnon conferences. That's the biggest surprise
Allegedly a QAnon conference. Is that what that is? It definitely a QAnon?
I everything I read says it is.
All right.
Even like not just like the liberal stuff, but people are just saying. Somebody in the
Not even
comments the
still a
other day said to me, she's like, she said, the nice lady comments a lot. She's like, I'm Q. I'm kind of like, really? I figured once that documentary came out, that was like, hey, it was this guy, you know, and he was obviously admitted to making it all up.
Yeah.
People would have been like if you want to be if you want to be the patriot, super freedom, I love my freedom in Jesus and all that. Okay, fine. I get that. But to be like, oh, I'm Q, but I feel like he was widely recognized as complete bullshit.
Debunked. It's over.
And still that kind of hasn't met
Even if it wasn't debunked,
a lot of people.
Q's gone with the last administration. No?
No, because
No.
it wasn't.
There's a high up.
It started before.
It started before him, and we talked about this. It's moved.
That's right.
To,
You're right.
It's moved to those other like texting platforms, like those. It's off social media. And it's on. I forget the name of them.
Well, the point is, it was debunked. So, I mean, but of course, that's what they want you to believe.
By the way, not even in the documentary, which I forget what it's called. Q is bullshit or whatever. I don't know. Just Google
I think
that.
that's it.
The guy who was Q, he's trying to run for office, I think in South Carolina or something, and they were interviewing him, and they were like, "Weren't you Q?" And he was like, "Yeah." Oh no. Like that was his answer. He was like,
Yeah, no.
And people were like, "Come on, guy." My last thing, the Dubai Eye. Have you fucking seen this thing?
No. What is this?
You know, they have this in Orlando. JSabs, you probably saw the Orlando Eye. It's a huge Ferris wheel.
Oh yes.
Oh, okay. First,
Fucking thing. Well, in Dubai, as like everything, they just do everything a little bit bigger. And Dubai is like the Texas of the world.
Ooh.
Kill the look at this guy drinking a coffee. He's on top of one of the. Oh, come on.
Oh, come on.
He's on top. Look at this shit. Look, he's drinking a coffee. You're like, oh, well, that's some view. Where is this guy? He is on top of the little capsule you're supposed to be inside. Look at this.
Absolutely not.
Look at this guy. Look at how huge this thing is.
It's got to take you 20 minutes to go one time around that thing.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Isn't that insane?
The video itself is making me want to throw up.
That's a hell of a drone operator. This
Yeah.
guy's just chilling up there having a coffee.
Oh my god. All right, so they just built this thing, it looks like. All right. Hey, good for them. It's a touristy thing. They have the tallest building in the world. Why not have the tallest? Is this the tallest?
That's a great question. It's 820. Yes,
There it
it's
is,
the
yep.
world's tallest observational wheel.
Oh God, bye.
Yeah. Nothing makes me happier than when places build shit just cause.
You know what's crazy? Did you read the rest of that? The guy sitting on top of that thing is the Crown Prince of Dubai.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
really?
nuts.
They actually put it looks like to mark the grand opening, Crown Prince of Dubai, Hamdan bin Mohammed Al Maktoum,
That's a long name.
was filmed sitting atop one of the wheel's viewing pods. That's
I tell you what, I'd like to get Hunter Biden on top of a Ferris wheel and see how we do.
I think he'd last about 3 seconds before
With
he
or without
drunkenly
drugs.
stumbles off the side.
Oh, but I love this though. I love like what do we like? We built the tallest building. What's next? I got an idea. How about a huge fucking Ferris wheel?
Right, that's it.
I gotta visit Dubai.
Well, I'll
That's
tell you
awesome.
what, Hamden, get on over here, my man. Let's
That
get you
is-
sketching this out.
820 feet. That
Yeah.
is enormous. That's just what? That's 200 feet shy of the Empire State Building, I think.
Is
give or
that
take.
right?
Oh,
I think the
God.
Empire State Building is just over 1,000 feet.
That's
I'm not
fucking
100%
great.
sure.
I love it.
But
Absolutely love it.
That's incredible.
JSabs, you want to get into your vacation?
Sure. I got a few. So I went to Florida. Of course, when they found Laundrie's body. Sure.
I thought
Were
you
you
were
at the
going to take
QAnon?
credit for it.
Yeah.
I thought your angle was
I mean,
gonna be-
there's no coincidence. It is not a coincidence.
Yeah.
I led them on.
Good for you.
JSabs the bounty hunter.
I mean, really. But didn't you just say this? We said it like a couple of shows ago, Anthony, that there'd be no doubt that in your mind that I could find him better than Bounty Hunter. What's his name?
Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Yeah.
I would have put money on you over Dog the Bounty
Right.
Hunter.
So there's no coincidence that I was there and they found him.
I
Right.
think you were physically closer to him than he was.
Right, I was. And I don't know, just it was
Was that
it was-
big news down there?
it
around the
was.
park?
I mean, we found out when we were in the park, so that was pretty fun.
All right.
So I was like, no way. And so we went down there for Halloween Horror Nights, which is in Universal. And basically the theme park at night has like 10 different haunted houses you could go into, plus scare zones and all different actors and like horror themed food and drinks. And I love it because I love haunted houses. So,
That's awesome.
but my husband also loves it too, just for the people watching. The people watching is just amazing.
So he's a stalker.
Yep. And then actually, and Anthony, I don't know why I thought of you when this happened.
I'm terrified to hear what this is going to be.
We were waiting online for the Beetlejuice haunted house, which was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a fan of horror movies to begin with. So, you know, the costumes and the makeup, and just the set is just great.
Could you just move your mic a little? There you go.
Oh.
Okay.
So then this couple behind us started talking to us, and we spent the entire night with them. Like I
Oh.
don't mean like sex wise. I mean like we
Sure.
hung out with them the whole time we were in the park because I kind of knew where I was going a little bit better than they did, and they were like, "Do you mind if we follow you to the next house?" And then we just hung out the whole entire night.
Right. When did they
Take
get
them
back
to
to
your-
your hotel room?
Yeah. Did you take
Sorry.
him to your Epcot Center?
See, I should have let Frank go.
Hey,
His was
damn it.
better. Your Epcot Center.
Stuff. And they were actually from New York too, so like obviously they were normal.
Did you have to sing "It Was a Small World" after all?
No.
Did you just say to them upside down pineapple to see how they would react?
Yeah, they knew.
Yeah.
They knew.
So you made friends with total strangers and you took them around for like a tour in Universal Studios.
Yep.
Were the four of you wearing the Minnie and Mickey hat?
Oh God, no. Imagine.
Ah, that's a golden op. That's a photo op right there.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, there was a story today about how
Oh,
people,
yeah.
Did you see that?
I
People-
sent it to you guys.
Oh, did you? I didn't
Yeah.
get it.
Which
And I said, I swear this wasn't us.
oh, that's right. Well, okay, what was it again though for everybody?
She wanted the like D, like the Disney.
Okay, so she's the
Yeah,
couple who's
right.
photographed wearing shirts. One said,
She
I-
wanted the D,
"I want the D."
and he and her said, I want the D. Now, what I thought was funny was, so people watching at theme parks is probably one of the best things you can do in life. Okay.
Agree.
The t-shirts that the people had were just amazing.
Very
Like,
creative.
and I told my husband, you don't love me I don't think you love me really because you don't have a T-shirt that says I love my girlfriend. And he was like, well, you don't have a T-shirt that says I love my boyfriend, which is exactly what we saw.
Tell me you bought one.
No, I wish people would. I mean, it's a thing now to like make special T-shirts. Yeah, see,
I gave her the D. I wanted the D.
I wish, to tell you the truth, I wish I would have seen this because I would have definitely bought this.
Yeah.
But the D is Disney shaped.
Custom shirts. Oh, there you go, Frank.
No, thank you. Yeah.
Time for an oil change, big man.
Oh.
Custom shirts are that's the fat. I'm sure you saw a ton of them down there.
Yes, and there were a lot of that were really funny. Like, Dad had said, most expensive day ever.
Yeah.
It's like jokes and stuff, and we actually wore shirt. We didn't wear like he's with me or I want the D, whatever. I wish I would have saw this, but we wore Harry Potter shirts, Star Wars shirts, Star Wars. Jurassic Park, but not like a regular T-shirt that you buy in Target. Not like this. He's laughing too.
You wore matching
Harry
Potter shirts?
No, they weren't matching.
Oh, okay.
No, we didn't wear matching T-shirts. We just wore graphic T-shirts. But
by the way, I have no problem with people doing that, and I would do it. I just would. I'm laughing because I would assume that JSabs would make fun of that. So the fact that you're actually doing it is what's hysterical.
Well, no, we didn't wear matching ones.
Okay.
They were. I'm saying that we wore graphic T-shirts, but not what these people wore.
Oh, and she's gone.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, we're getting to the good part.
We were getting to the good part.
So I would love to go to go to Disney World. Obviously, I want to see the whole Star Wars setup that they got down there.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing.
Of course,
I'll do anything else. But
of course, I did. Gaetano wore Star Wars T-shirt.
Did you wear a teal T-shirt that looked like this?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, and that was
awesome.
that was actually a Star Wars T-shirt too.
Tank
top, you can't see.
Cool.
Oh God.
I can't
Were
see
you
what
allowed-
that says. Something about scary. Does it say scary?
Scary.
Nope. It's Skull. What's that place called in Star Wars? What's it called?
Scarif.
There you go, Scarif.
Okay. Nice.
What were you gonna say?
Were you allowed to go into the ship, or is that just where they came out for like the stage stuff?
That's just where they came out for the stage stuff. But let me tell you something. So I actually took my husband there for his 40th birthday, but I surprised him with Disney because we stayed in Universal for one day to go to Hollywood Studios where all the Star Wars stuff is. And I made sure that we did every Star Wars ride.
That's awesome. Chewie.
Exactly.
Oh, that's great. And a land speeder right behind you.
Yep.
This is going to be Frank's first orgasm on the podcast.
This might happen. I'm close.
I would love it, Frank, if for the rest of this segment you just stayed like this, please.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need the. You think that's scary? I don't need these. Come on. I can get there without these.
All right, put your hands down.
All right. That's awesome. Come on, what else we got?
That was just that really was. I have to say, like, obviously, I'm not as big of a Star Wars fan as you are, but it was amazing.
Did you get to go into the Millennium Falcon?
Yes.
Oh.
And I was a pilot.
Oh.
And a shooter.
No.
And an engineer.
No.
Because we rode that 3 times. That's what she said.
Are you for
real?
real?
And then, yes, we got to do it 3 times because there's this new Genie Plus service. I don't know. It's like kind of like a fast pass thing. And I made sure we get it because I was like, we have to get on the biggest ride there is Rise of the Resistance, which husband said that was the best ride he's ever been on in his life.
Oh, that's what people say. People say that.
And I was like, well, I beg to differ.
But
But it was really good.
gotta
I
get
have to
down
say
there.
it was the best one for me too.
So
Ever.
wait, did you pay the extra? Isn't it like $15 or something to
Yep.
get that genie thing?
Oh, that's not a lot at all.
Yeah, but
Well-
then people are upset about it though because once you pay,
So
you
You
can't
pay-
pay again.
you can.
What does that mean?
So
Oh,
you
you
play.
can?
So the Genie Plus is like for each park there's like Genie Plus rides, which is included in the $15. But then also there's like 2 or 3 rides in each park that you have to pay per ride if you want to get on.
Right. So right. So basically, it's hey, if you want the fast pass stuff, pay $15. But then people don't realize, oh, the good shit is $15 per ride. That's not included.
That's the highest one.
That's not
It could be-
included in your That's not
Yeah.
included in your $15 ride. You know, the people think, oh, $15 and I ride everything. Mm-mm.
Ah,
The ones you really want to get on aren't in that $15 thing.
man, you know the money they got to be
honestly-
raking in there.
For $60 extra, it was worth it for us because we got to do everything that we wanted to do. We didn't have to wait,
Right.
and
But-
we did the Millennium Falcon 3 times in a row.
Which is cool, and I'm glad you had a great experience. But what'd you pay for the ticket? Isn't it like over $100 for the day?
It was, because now of course each day is different, each time of the year is different, so it was $139 per ticket.
Man,
Yep.
So you're talking about $200 base, or no, it was $60 each, or 60 between the two of you extra.
60 between the two of us.
All right,
it's
so
not bad.
you're talking about $160, $320 for the day,
Yep.
without food,
Oh, that's-
without anything, just
Yep.
getting in and getting on the rides you want to get in on. Which is not bad if you're husband and wife, but if you brought your 2 kids,
are the kids the same price? It's got to be less, no?
They're a few bucks cheaper, not much.
Yeah, a few bucks.
yeah.
But the thing is, it's like and of course it launched literally 2 days before we went.
Hmm.
So I was
Really?
nervous.
I thought it's been open for a while.
It has, but the service has not been.
Oh, that's
the
it.
Genie Plus, and I was like nervous that we weren't going to be able to do it because I'm like, we're just going there for that. Like,
Yeah.
come on, I have to do it, and I made sure we did it though.
Did you get
Yeah,
to build
because-
your own lightsaber?
I did that night. Hey yo,
Hi-yo.
Because before that, you had to like go there and like try and get in a lottery system to get on that
Yes.
ride. It was like
Yep.
crazy.
yep. It still is the most because you could also wait on the virtual line as well, which I saw between 65 and 125 minutes throughout the day.
Damn.
Disney's out of control.
But the thing is, that ride is way different than the other ones, and it's way longer, and it's not your traditional ride. So I understand why it's that long.
Do you want to know what I
Oops.
think it is?
What?
When we were kids, and but by the way, they didn't have, first of all, they didn't have all, like the amount of sophisticated rides they have now is ridiculous. Like
Mm-hmm.
they say this Rise of Resistance is just insane. But when we were kids, you had, I mean, like our parents were like into Disney, you know,
Oh,
but
not mine. I
but
never
not-
went to Disney as a kid.
as a, oh really? Even in general, I'm just saying what's happened is our generation, by our generation, I mean, you know, if you're 45 to, you know,
Well,
20, whatever, even 50 to 30, whatever you want to call it, in that 20-year span, those people did go to Disney or at least grew up with Star Wars in a big way or whatever. So now you have those people plus all the young kids
yeah,
now.
that's true too.
You've
You're
got
right.
so many more people, and plus figure the average 35, 40-year-old who's got that money to burn now and wants to fucking live this experience. There's a lot more of those people. Whereas when we were like 7, you didn't really have those people that were going to spend that kind of money to go on the fucking Small World ride. You know what I mean?
Did though. I mean, I went with my parents took me to when I was 9, and they had all that stuff. It just wasn't obviously this, but you know, you had the parents bringing their kids just like now.
You did, but now
But it didn't cost as much as it.
it didn't. But now
Of
you have that
course.
extra generation
Yeah,
of
that's true.
of people who grew up with it that you didn't have when your parents took
Oh
you.
yeah, of course. And now that back in the day, they didn't have Star Wars and any of these things. Star Wars, I think, is their huge.
But even my point being, like, when did Walt Disney World open? In 72 or whatever it was?
They're 50 years now, so.
Right. So by the time 85, 90 came around, when our parents were taking us, the fact that our parents went to Disney probably was a...
Oh, yeah. It was new for both generations.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe not. But like in our generation, like a lot of people went to Disney. And now all of those people are not only bringing their kids, they're just fucking going themselves to go on some of these
that's true.
rides.
Like us.
Yep.
Like the amount of, I feel like 30-year-old, like people like the I Gave Her the D couple that are just fucking there to be in Disney is crazy. You never
guys,
saw that.
I want to go. My wife and I will probably go and freaking love it. The Harry Potter thing is blown up. The only thing I'm disappointed is that they took away the Jaws experience, the whole Jaws ride.
Jaws ride was awesome.
I know. I like that one too.
Because it wasn't just the ride too. They had like the town set up. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. This town is still set up.
Really?
It's still San Francisco over there, yeah.
San Francisco.
But yeah, that's where the Jaws ride was.
What?
It wasn't.
What do you mean San Francisco?
Wasn't it San Francisco?
Where Jaws the movie took place?
No. Jaws took place in Amityville, but in Universal, there's like the New York area and the San Francisco area. I don't know where.
I didn't realize. Okay.
I thought it was
the New York streets where the Blues Brothers were. And,
oh God, they got to get rid of that.
That's right.
And then there was like the other.
They have to get rid of that.
The water's still there though, right? Where Jaws was?
Yeah.
Or did they get rid of that? That's still there.
That's what I'm saying. The actual Jaws.
Like the ride still exists. It's just closed down.
No, the ride is not there, but Jaws is still there. Like the shark.
Oh, they have like a setup.
Yeah.
They have it like a in memoriam.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think most of that side became The Simpsons. Didn't it become Springfield?
No, that's on the other side.
Oh, and they got a Springfield too. What am
which I love.
Oh, I gotta get down there. You put a Metallica ride in there, and I'll live there.
God. He's like, I'll just live in the park.
I'll just live at the park. They can't find me if I tuck away in one of these things.
No, they'll find you. Do you know?
That's what we're saying. Go ahead.
Do you know that in Disney, I don't know if this is true in all the parks, but in the Magic Kingdom, they will not ask you to leave when the park closes.
What?
I swear to God, the park closes, and the staff slowly walks. There's like a thing.
They kind of herd you out
slowly. You can stay there and take photos, and some people do it for insane amounts of time.
So if you avoid being herded out, you can just stay there the whole time.
They will not ask you to leave. They will stand like 30 feet away, and as you walk towards the exit, they will walk towards the exit. And if you try and go back in the other direction, they'll say this area is closed. You can't go, but you can stay. They will not say, "Can you please leave?"
Wow.
We were in the park after it closed, and I did not feel like we were being rushed out at all.
Yeah.
Because we we're buying something in the store, but no.
That's all.
I don't know.
They won't kick you out of one of them stores. They pull that money.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Make that money, honey. Yeah, but they will not. And people wait there because they want to get pictures of them, like in the park where it looks like they have the whole thing to themselves. That's what people do.
Exactly.
Man.
But Universal, we love Universal.
Universal.
We do.
Best.
So how many days in Universal and how many days in Disney?
So we got there Tuesday night, and Wednesday and Thursday, all day Universal. Friday, Hollywood Studios, and then Saturday before we left, we also went back to Universal.
Oh, wow.
So,
So 3 days Universal.
Yeah.
And you like
it was
Universal?
Hot, though.
You like Universal better than Hollywood Studios, or was all the Star Wars stuff too good?
Well, the Star Wars stuff, that's just a world, though. So that's why it's a little different, but we do love Universal.
Give me the food rundown. Did you eat at the Star Wars food
Yes,
places?
we did. And let me tell you something. It was actually really good for theme park food and just regular food. Very good.
Did you have the Ronto wrap?
I didn't, but how did you know about that? Looking at
everything.
Looking at the menu.
We had ribs and chicken, and the chicken was really good.
Now, was the Marvel thing all set up there, or is that just LA?
It's set up there, but honestly, it needs to be redone.
Really?
No, what's weird? You're talking about Universal.
Universal, yeah.
What's weird is Universal still owns the rights, the amusement park rights to Marvel.
Which is weird, right?
Yeah, well, they're gonna lose
Isn't
it
that weird?
eventually. They're gonna lose it to Disney.
Well, the thing is, Universal's also building another park there too, which is going to be Super Mario World,
Yeah,
which I can't wait for.
Nice.
Now I'm really geeking out.
Now Chris Pratt's going to be all over that thing too. Come on.
I'd like to be all over that.
All right.
Give me what was the best food you had in Universal?
Oh,
Turkey leg? Did you have a turkey leg?
Oh God, no! I would not go around and eat a turkey leg.
Oh, they're good.
Before you answer the Universal question, did you have the blue milk in Star Wars Land?
No, because I will not drink milk. But I did have at least 4 of their different kinds of alcoholic drinks too.
Oh, nice.
I gotta believe the blue milk.
$75.
Yeah, right. I don't think the blue milk is actual milk. It's probably like a milkshake or something, right?
No, it is milk.
It's just a glass of milk, blue.
Yeah. And my friend was like, if you go and drink that and you get nauseous in the sun, don't drink it because you're going to get nauseous drinking milk in the sun. And she was, that's why I was like, I can't because it was way too hot.
They drank it every day on Tatooine.
That's true.
A desert planet.
Fucking can't stand the show. All right, give me the best food in Universal. And then people are asking for a cousin update.
Best food in Universal. I liked the Krusty Burger a lot. I did.
Nice.
At Simpsons Land. But also last time we ate in Harry Potter Land.
Was it like dragon tacos or something?
It was they do have a dragon brew though. Beer.
Ooh.
Good.
Nice. You didn't have the butter beer or whatever?
I tried that last time. I didn't really like it. Because it doesn't really taste like that. It's way sweet. It just doesn't. It's just nah. I also had a Duff beer this time too, as well.
Nice.
Harry Potter.
You're right up
and
there.
Islands of Adventure. They have a good spot to eat.
Cool. Did you get a wand? No sex joke wand?
That's what she said.
All right. An actual one.
How much would Frank's fucking spend down there? I can't even imagine.
I would have to remortgage my house.
You know, they're building that new hotel in Disney where you live in Star Wars.
Yes, he knows. $6,000 for 2 nights.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Something crazy like that. $2,500 a night or something crazy. You'd do it.
No, I wouldn't. That's way too much money.
They say it's like a cruise, and you love cruises. They say it's just like a cruise.
Yeah, but for 1 or 2 nights, no, that's too much.
But like, it's not like it's just a hotel. Like,
yeah, no, it's interactive.
Yeah, there's like activities, and you have like a schedule. That's what bothered me the most. Like, I'm on vacation, but I got a fucking itinerary on what I got to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's probably the best way to get to everything, so you don't miss stuff. But I'd rather just walk around on my own time.
No, they let you walk around in the Star Wars land, but the rest of the time they give you stuff to run around the hotel.
Yeah.
And do.
No.
It's like you're on a ship.
That's kind of cool. I'd have to see what it looks like.
Yeah,
but that's too much money.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. So what happened to your cousin? How's he doing? JSabs.
I'm actually waiting on an update myself.
So last we heard, didn't she come here or
no?
Not yet.
She can't come here.
Okay.
So because it's hard to get here.
Racism?
So
oh.
they're gonna move. They're gonna meet in the Bahamas in December. That was the plan. So we'll see.
Nice.
Yeah, this is gonna be. I'm so excited when this is the next Gabby Petito Brian Laundrie story.
Oh, that's.
And we're gonna be at the heart of it. Not that I want people
Here's
to
the
die.
thing. I just wonder who's gonna play me. That's all I'm concerned about.
We all know who's gonna play you.
Yeah, the girl from Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh God.
Exactly.
Okay. Was that a question? Was that...
Yeah. What did you think?
I fucking walked right into that.
I forgot about her.
We haven't.
Well, we know who's gonna play Frank, so they're gonna bail him out of jail. They're gonna bail him out. Like, we need you. We need you.
He's not gonna be available, I'm sure.
So no updates. Just I guess they're just kind of talking and whatever. God, long-term relationship, long-distance relationships. That sucks.
Is he going to move to Turkey?
I bet you he would.
Join the Turkey Club?
He,
Turkey Club. Hey.
That's it.
That's
We're
what we
ending
leave
on
on.
Turkey Club.
Good night,
and
everyone.
wait, do we say happy birthday to a certain someone?
No. we don't.
Happy birthday.
Birthday to you.
This guy over
Happy
there.
Pointed
birthday
to the wrong spot.
to you.
Thank you.
Yes, Anthony's birthday. Everybody in the comments, please wish Anthony happy birthday because he deserves it. He does like 10% of the work on this show, but
You're giving him
does
too much
literally
now.
like 99% of the work.
Oh, yes.
He does all of it.
I don't respond to happy birthday comments though. Don't guilt me into that.
Oh, you say now you're
just
gonna
wait
be the
until
jerk.
Facebook later. Just wait until Facebook.
I don't even think your birthday's on Facebook.
It's not. I took it off.
You took it up because you're a prick.
I'm not a prick. I just
Only-
don't love celebrating the birthday thing.
Ugh.
It's
Just-
okay. I don't mind it. I just don't go out of my way to point out to people.
How's that going out of your way?
It's going out of the way.
Oh, bye.
Although I will tell you, I was pleasantly surprised by some people who did wish me a happy birthday. People,
But see, those people are true friends, though.
true friends. I didn't think
that?
some of the people would write me, and they did.
Really?
Yeah, some outside people, some nice people, former
Wow.
colleagues and
That's good.
Wow.
See? They're nice.
acquaintances and such. Yes, very nice, very nice.
And they didn't need the Facebook reminder.
Oh,
We lost Anthony for a second.
that's okay. I guess it's time to go then.
I'm causing this on my own. No, they didn't need the Facebook reminder. Am I back?
You're back.
They didn't need the Facebook
What?
reminder. By the way, there is a reminder in my phone to call Frank for his birthday, and his birthday is 10 days away from mine. And I still
Oops.
need the reminder.
You
Wow.
didn't call me on my birthday, did you?
Yeah, because I still forget. Like, oh, I'm gonna call
And we
Frank
did the
today.
We did the podcast. You didn't.
Well,
need
that's
to.
why I didn't call you.
And that's why I didn't call you today.
talk to you for 2.5 hours.
Ugh.
That's 2 hours more than we need.
And if we talk about, Trump or LGBTQ, it's 7.5 hours.
It's
it feels
like-
That's true.
All right. We'll see you guys. Appreciate the likes, the shares, everything else, the merch purchases.
Jumpstart Coffee Company.
Yes, the Jumpstart Coffee Company plugs. That was lovely. Earlier, we got to do that.
Yeah, get in there. Get
Rennie.
that coffee.
So kind of Rennie to say that.
Good
Yeah,
comment
very
from
sweet.
Rennie.
So that's awesome. Link in the description below. Save 15%. We'll catch you guys on the next episode.